Chalkboards, Etch-a-Sketches. Today's video is on communication. Hey, it's Annika, and today's video on communication is going to be on a few different ideas that I've mishmashed together. Now this is actually a dollar find video because everything you see in this video today is from the dollar store, and you know how much I love to save money when I'm trying to make sure that I can provide activities for all of my students. So the first thing I want to talk about are some other ways that you can do communications, very quick checks, formative assessments for your students in the classroom. The first one is one that is pretty similar to what you already have and we've talked about before, are the dry erase boards, except it's a paddle. So there's a handle for the kids, and I love that because it makes it easier for them to grip it and gives them all of the space without rubbing on it while they're holding it up. Another thing they have are chalkboards. So if you wanted to do something a little different, if you love to use things like colored chalk, then this is something that you might want to check out. So they have these at the dollar store as well. They had a huge stack of them when I went, so something to check out. This could be something that maybe you don't use for individual students, but that you maybe use for groups. And so having them maybe do like a really quick group one here and wiping it off. I just thought these were really cool. And the third thing was these drawing boards. I think of Etch-a-Sketches, but they're not the ones with the knobs. They can just use a pen and write out what they're trying to show you and very quickly swipe back and forth to clear their place. This is going to be easy to clean up because there's no mess. You don't have a marker, you don't have chalk, so this one's really, really cool to use as well at the dollar store. Another thing I like to do for students is provide Post-its so that they can mark things or write questions out without having to write on their paper and have scribbles all over it. And that's why I like having things like this. Now these little ones I thought were really cool. They're also what I like to do with color coding. They could each have a different purpose for whatever color you're using. Like one could be a thought, one could be a question, one could be an idea. But you can also use them as color coding for groups, having each group mark their questions using their colored Post-it for whatever activity it was if you're doing station rotation, so that when you go back and look at the material and what they actually did with it, you can actually see their questions for that group. So that's a really cool thing to use as well, also at the dollar store. And my last idea for this was kind of twofold. I think you can use these for different things, but I like the idea of giving students a notepad that they can write just whatever thoughts come to their mind so that they can revisit them later when they have time. So if they're in the middle of an activity and something comes into their mind that they need an answer for, they're not going to be able to focus on what you want them to focus on. So they can write it in their book. It gets to be put out of their heads, so now they can focus on the activity. And then you have a time to revisit with them, hey, what were you thinking about that you needed to go back and talk with me about? This is, I think, is a really cool thing. They have them in like little composition notebooks where they can put their names on them, or you can use these. And I also thought these would be really cool if you were doing an activity where they were being a detective or a reporter, and they could flip it over and be like, I'm gonna take my notes down now. I thought this was really neat and cute, and they have 3 to a pack for these as well. All of this stuff, again, dollar store. So if you've used these for your unique classroom, please share in the comments below. And if you like, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I will see you guys next week. Bye. They have these, it's front and back, I guess. And then your third option were Etch-a-Sketches. I thought this was the coolest thing. They're not really Etch-a-Sketches, never mind.